Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me here today on day 50 of the 100-day project. This is slightly different today in that again, I've been looking at what I have in my studio and maybe do I really need it and so on. So one of the things that I've handled a few times lately are these kinds of stencils. So I thought, okay, I have a lot of fabric. I tend to like to put, light colors together. If I picked a simple shape, like that flower, and these two flowers, could I not applique a fabric design of some sort onto some avocado dyed fabric? So what I did, I have 4 different things going here. Let me just use my pointer. So this lovely floral, which is sort of the thing that, pulls it all together. This that is, I don't know if you can tell, but I think that design is called moire. It almost looks like, I want to say birch bark, but I don't know. Maybe that's not a very clear description. But so the print, this striated fabric with a shine to it, a bit of white lace, and the solid broadcloth that also matches, pretty well an exact match to the background color. So I've had this piece of fabric for a while. So what I did was cut, using those 4 different types of fabric, basically cut out a variety of those shapes. And then I lay them down and I played with them. And what I had done to trace them was basically, on the wrong side of the fabric, used either a pencil or a pen. Now the pen, am I not always giving you good advice of things not to do? The pen was not a great choice. Now, I don't think I can actually find maybe right here, a spot to show you where the blue pen sort of bled through the edge. But again, in the big scheme here, it's not going to matter. However, it did cause me a little bit of grief in that I had to be very cognizant of hiding things that, maybe should have had a more prominent role. So I guess what I'm saying is either use the right tool for the job. So if a pencil doesn't work, then maybe use a seamstress pencil, like they have them in white and blue. There are those that fade, those that wash out. I mean, obviously I should have tried a little harder to find something that would work well. So given that one constraint, I basically started laying all of these things out. And I did this, maybe a week or 2 ago. And I have this this lovely felted mat. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it's called, but it's wool. And I, of course, first was introduced to this during the first Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, because I thought, hey, I'm old enough to remember when slow stitching was just called embroidery. So I thought, oh, that would be kind of a zen kind of thing to do. A lot of fabric, a lot of different thread, embroidery thread, pearl cotton, crochet thread, like you name it. So it seemed like such a good thing to have that I was able to get one. I can't remember. I mean, they cost a fair bit of money, and I haven't used it to its full advantage. It's great for holding, fabric in place. Certainly, if you stick your needle into it, you can find it when you need to. You can, it seems to hold the fabric down. But I guess the beauty of this, apparently it's made with wool from New Zealand sheep or something. And apparently it is the cat's meow if you're pressing something. So I haven't tried that, so I can't say, definitively that that's been my experience. But that's supposedly what the deal is. So anyway, I'm kind of I'm passing this thing around, trying not to have the pieces flutter out of place. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, should I pin it down? Should I tack it down with glue? Should I use it like an iron-on facing or something, like a heat and bond or something? And then what I ended up doing today, just before the video, was basically doing some really sloppy basting stitches. Really hit and miss, Certainly if anyone was marking me on the effort, it would probably be an F, but it's doing the job. And then I started basically doing, I would think that this is just basically an overcasting type stitch. So basically I'm just trying to contain the edges so that they can't fray. And so far I've just been doing sort of the perimeter. So I started here, I'm working my way around. And then once I have all of the outer edges tacked down, then I will decide what I'm doing next. And I think that, so for instance, if I was over here, I would start I'd start again here. I'd go around this. I would just go around those edges that are on top. So if I came to this intersection here, I would then start going over this and pick it up again here. And eventually, I'm thinking that I will have all the edges covered. It has already given some stability to the fabric. It's adding a textural element. It's adding a pop of color. And I have millions of feet of embroidery thread. I'm embarrassed to show you how much, so I won't. This is the color that I'm using so far, but I do have a couple of other shades here. And I also thought if I need a high contrast or, something dramatic, I might use this one, which is, just a hair darker than the darkest part of the floral. So, that's going to be a judgment call when the time comes. I think that even though I crisscrossed and backtracked and really did some awful moves in terms of the basting, I don't think I'm going to have a problem pulling out that green thread because, well, I don't have any knots in it for one thing. And secondly, between the front and the back, I should be able to get it all out fairly easily. Now, there will be a few knots. There will be a little bit of roughness. So when this is actually done, naturally there will have to be something, I don't know whether I'll put some, a little slab of foam or something. A little, I don't know, some padding of some sort in between, as well as either a fabric or paper inside for the cover. Oh, and I guess, well, I didn't say it, but I guess it's obvious that this is like as a journal cover. So And of course, by the time I'm done, who knows what other, decorative elements might be added to it. But again, I'm not trying to win a blue ribbon or anything for my stitching technique. I'm basically, making some pretty good time doing this. It's not perfect. It's not, every stitch isn't even, but that's not the goal here. So I managed to do this and listen and look up occasionally to see the Oilers just win game 2 in the second round of the NHL playoff against the Las Vegas Golden Knights. So yeah, it's been a good evening so far. So I think that, there's not much more for me to say other than even with this lovely wool mat, I do turn the piece around so that it is, sort of, I'm not working against myself or crossing, having to do some awkward thing with my hands or whatever. It's kind of intuitive which way you need to hold it so that it really is convenient and efficient and isn't going to cause any sort of an injury. So again, is this anything that you haven't seen before? Probably not. I guess the reason I wanted to include it in the 100-day project is because I don't know that many of us, these are all thrifted things that I bought early on in the process. No idea what I was going to do with it. Probably really old school compared to, like die cutting or people that have Cricut machines and things like that. So I wanted to give this a try. I guess I could have just as easily free-handed a design of my own and used that as an outline for the shapes. But, probably now that I've done this, I can probably donate that to Goodwill or something and, not miss it in the future is, I think, what I'm trying to say. So I guess the point is we should try to use what we have, but if what we have doesn't really, if it's not sort of serving us well, or I wanted to say if it's not the best option out there, but that is kind of maybe not what I'm trying to say really, because I don't believe for 1 minute that we need the latest and greatest, and whether it's buying a phone or apps or anything like that. I've never been an early adopter. I'm not the kind of person that would stand in line to get the latest release of a product. I believe in making the most of what we have and using it till it no longer serves us, and when we need to upgrade or replace something, then yeah, do it then. So I don't think we should throw out the baby with the bathwater. If the particular tool, in this case I'm talking about these stencils, but they're kind of awkward and clunky. I used to keep these, and I have a few others just with basic geometric shapes like squares, circles, and ovals. I used to keep these in like a 3 or 4 inch binder. And that's fine. I mean, they have these holes, so clearly that's maybe what was intended. but they're heavy and they take up space. And again, is that going to be what I reach for if I need to, draw a circle or a square? Not likely. So I think I've just, in talking to you guys just now, I think I've talked myself into donating all of them. Because again, there are better options out there. So sometimes being willing to let go of something, even if we've paid, good money for it, or we haven't gotten our money's worth out of it, sometimes it's just better to let it go and move on. Anyway, if you decide to do something like this, I hope you do, because it's another way to use up some fabric. It's another way to add that handmade, TLC authenticity that comes with something that, that was done by a fallible human being, as opposed to, something that is precision or machine made. So yeah, and again, this is kind of mindless. So once you do the prep work, it's easy enough just to, like I say, watch a hockey game, watch something on Netflix, talk to your family, whatever it is that you choose to do when you're chilling out. And I'm going to stop here. I haven't done my little commercial for a while. Where is that paper? If you're excuse me, if you're finding value in these videos and enjoying some of the conversation or the content, I really hope that you consider subscribing. Once a person subscribes, well, I guess you don't even need to be you should be a subscriber. And in addition to that, it would be great if you would give a thumbs up, comment, and, talk up the channel to your friends. That makes the YouTube algorithms happy. That would make Hazel and Aka Design happy. And that would ensure that the content keeps coming. So we are at the halfway mark in the 100-day project. There are many more ideas to come, 50 more precisely. And so I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Okay, thanks. Bye.